Hey everyone, it's Lando Smoothie or Chris or Lando. You can call me whatever you like. And today we're going to be looking at Darth Vader. This particular Vader is from the Black Series 3 3/4 inch line exclusive to Walmart. And it has a release date around September of 2015 according to the Jedi Temple Archives website. It's a place I go to fairly often, for news and for information. I was feeling in a really Vadery mood because everyone is reviewing the 6-inch Black Series Vader that came out recently with the early bird special packaging. I'm not going to be picking that one up. I'm not really a 6-inch Black Series collector, even though I do think a lot of the figures are really cool. I am refraining from them. I'm more of a 3 3/4 inch guy, as you've probably noticed. And it's just, you gotta pick your battles with collecting. You can't buy everything. And I'm choosing to buy some different things. Luckily, these are on super sale right now. I got this one at Walmart for like $5.85 or something like that the other day. Really surprised to see it since it's basically a 2-year-old figure almost. And I just have a feeling that they're cleaning out everything at Walmart, getting ready for the new wave that has Ponda Baba and the Tusken Raider in it and whatnot. I'm excited about that one. I'm definitely going to pick up that Ponda Baba as soon as I can. I really want that one. So we're going to go ahead and crack this figure and see what it looks like on the inside. So the JTA website also lets me know that this figure is a repainted version of the Revenge of the Sith 500th figure that came out back in 2005. I don't have that figure, but we can consult a handy book real quick. So here is Star Wars: The Ultimate Action Figure Collection. This is a really amazing book. I should devote a whole review to this, but for now, I'm just going to point it out to you. It's by Stephen J. Sansweet, who is the foremost collector of all Star Wars items in the whole world. He's got his own museum and everything you can visit out in California. He used to work for Lucasfilm. There's a lot of great stuff. I could go on and on about him in this book, but for now, let's just turn to page 136. So, as you might imagine, there are quite a few Darth Vaders. This book covers from the vintage line all the way up to 2012, so there are pages upon pages of Darth Vader figures to go through, but let's take a quick look at the one that JTA tells us is the one we are looking at today. Darth Vader Special 500th Figure, Revenge of the Sith exclusive. Not even close to being just the 500th Star Wars figure ever issued. That mark was passed years before. This Vader comes with his meditation chamber. If only this one came with that. That's kind of a bummer, but what can you do? Behold! There he is. I had a hell of a time getting him to stand up, but there he is, looking pretty menacing. I have some real qualms with this figure, even though I like a lot of different aspects of it. We're going to go through and talk about them individually, but soak him in for a second. Soak in that great Sith Lord over here. Alright, now that we're done soaking, let's go ahead and take a look a little bit closer. So, immediately you're going to notice the cloth goods. They're pretty good. They don't really overpower the molding or anything like that, which is nice. So often the cloth goods do that kind of thing. They really take away from figures in my experience so far in collecting, but I like him here. He looks pretty nice. Let's see. You can see, staying on the cloth goods real quick, you can see this little silver string, emulating the little chain around his neck there. Looking kind of on the back to get a better sense of his cape. I like that it's not so wide. I think that's something that you see with Vader figures sometimes that is really bad, that it just drapes all the way around the front of his shoulders and kind of goes towards the front, and he kind of looks a little bit like Batman or something like that. They avoided that with this figure. Turning towards the front again, you can see a lot of different detail on his chest plate. Looking at it now, I see a lot of different accents. Green, red, blue, silver. All these buttons show up fairly well in this figure. And even if the paint apps aren't, the most specific and most meticulous that I've ever seen on any figure, I still think it looks pretty good. Combine that with the molding here, and you can see all the different folds of his suit. His codpiece kind of coming down here. Looks pretty solid. As far as articulation goes, this guy is pretty up there. He has shoulders, elbows. Elbows are just on a swivel. Wrists are on a swivel. Moving on down, we have his belt that is loose, and you can kind of fidget it back and forth for different positions. He's got a ball joint at the knee that is pretty nice, so you can get him into a kneeling pose for the, you know, to talk to the Emperor or something like that. There is no articulation down at the ankle, which is fine. I mean, I'm mostly just going to have him standing up anyway. As far as accessories go, this is where this figure kind of gets off the rails a little bit for me. So of course you have his lightsaber, which I'm going to take off right now and show you after I get him standing up again. There you go. The lightsaber is looking pretty good, ignited. It looks, you know, it's very similar in quality to the lightsaber that comes with the Jedi Luke that I reviewed in an earlier video. Nothing to write home about, but it really gets the job done. And the other big thing to note about this figure is that it does have a removable helmet. And so, you know, this is a pro and a con. I like that we can remove the helmet. You get a lot more detail in the head because of that. You can see all of his gnarly, you know, back of the head action. In the back there's some gross vein right there and a big old valley of scars in his head. But the questionable thing about this is that his helmet does not stay on very well. Like, here, I'm going to try to put this on as tightly as I can right here to experiment. Boom. Right off. So that is problematic for me. You know, with the slightest drop of a hat, this thing just goes flying. So definitely have to keep him pretty still most of the time. Just for fun, I've put Jedi Luke next to the Darth Vader here. They scale pretty well together. They're both from the same wave, actually. Along with Chewbacca, which I do not have the Chewbacca from the Black Series 3 3/4 inch yet. I plan on grabbing that one soon as I can find it. But I like the look they have together, you know, I feel like they're pretty solid. If only the helmet were a little more firmly attached, I'd be pretty jazzed about this figure in total. But what can you do? He's pretty solid. He looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain too much. And there's about 1,000 other Vaders out there. So it's not like I'm short on Vader replacements if I ever get tired of him or if I get fed up, you know, if I'm like, no, I'm done with you, Vader. You know, if that kind of mood strikes me one day, I can just chuck him. But, you know, I do recommend him. If you don't have it, even though he's been out for a couple of years, maybe check your Walmarts like I have recently. He might be out in the pegs, just waiting to be cleared out, you know. So I think he's pretty solid. Thank you all for watching so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a stellar day, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe if you're interested, and goodbye.